All right, now it's the Big Pod Swain Session Podcast, and we back with another one, yo. Episode 7 is underway, but before we get into this script, I need y'all to like, subscribe, and comment. But fuck all that small talk, let's get into the episode. All right, now you got the Chicago Bears getting busy in training camp, man. It's going up at Hallis Hall. And if you from Chicago, you know this a tough-ass city to play in. And that's how the Bears should be coming this season, bro. Let's set the pace early. Now, reports confirming that Tuesday session was the most physical practice that we all seen since the Lovie Smith era. They ain't just mixed this shit up, yo. It was 4 separate incidents. And then you got Braxton Jones, Austin Booker squaring off, Javon Dexter pushing Braxton to the turf. You got Roshan Johnson and Jonathan Owens throwing hands. What the fuck is going on at Hallis Hall, bro? But I love to see it, man. Now, you get to that podium, Ben Johnson, and you call it what? Just another motherfucking day. And it is, bro. The players even loving it. You got Tyreek Stevenson just flat out saying we should practice like this every day. Look, this ain't no chaos, bro. This shit is just clarity, especially when you in a rebuilding culture, man. But look, this ain't about steam. This ain't about structure. This shit about discipline right now. It's still a work in progress with the Chicago Bears. You can feel the tension between passion and chaos trying to meet somewhere in the middle. All right, what we got next, man? We got Shedeur Sanders starting Friday night versus the Carolina Panthers. But don't get it twisted, yo. This ain't no damn start. This feel like a tryout, yo. Now listen, I said this on my Facebook page earlier, and I'm gonna say it right here. This move, the Browns selecting Shedeur Sanders, it smelled like a favor. It seemed like Deion Sanders called one in. If that's not the case, I just don't get why Shedeur Sanders is in this position. Now, don't get me wrong, yo. I'm rooting for him. That's always. But this opportunity ain't sweet. He got to come with it. Simple as that. You got Kenny Pickett and Dylan Gabriel out. So Shedeur Sanders got a chance to get some real reps in. But he got to make them count. You got to move the chains and you got to convert the downs, yo. As most definitely put some points on the board. If Shedeur Sanders flashes something, that conversation gonna shift from favor to future. Like it's supposed to be. But if he come in looking shaky, he gonna prove all the narratives right. They gonna say he ain't ready. They gonna say he need more time. And let's be honest, it looked like the Cleveland Browns already got an exit route. So look, this Friday, Shedeur Sanders, it looked like he got 1, maybe 2 shots to prove he belong in this league. This is something major for the culture, yo. Hip-hop history in general. The BET Awards and the Soul Train Awards have officially been suspended. Indefinitely. So, no next year. Ain't nothing postponed. It's a wrap for good. Now look, before we get in our feelings, we got to talk business. We got to look at facts. They making this decision off the viewership declining, and you got a massive shift towards the streaming platforms. People ain't looking at this shit the old school way anymore. And instead of innovating, the powers that be folded. Now let's be real. BET ain't been what it used to be. And when shows like Carisha Please, and no disrespect, win Best Hip Hop Platform 2 years in a row, and we just watch what Joe Budden did, it tells you a lot, bro. The comp is off a bit. This ain't just about awards, neither. It's about cultural ownership, yo. Soul Train and carry black music for decades. The BET Hip Hop Awards, it gave the underground a mic and a camera. So when they pull the plug, we gotta ask, Who the fuck is preserving the culture now, yo? Is it the labels? Is it the award shows? Apparently not. Or maybe it's the podcasters, the indie artists, the platforms we all wake up to daily. So here go the question. Is this a chance to rebuild it? Do we create our own platforms? Or do we let the last train leave the station, y'all? Let's talk about the new hustle. The one hiding in plain sight. I'm talking about selling plays, aka the streaming bots. Now that's the name of the game right now. And if you thought this shit was clean, yo, think again. Now peep this. Your favorite indie artist just hit 1 million streams overnight. He ain't got no buzz, no clips, nothing going viral. Not a human being on earth is talking about it. You know why? Because these numbers are coming from bots in Bulgaria or some shit like that. Right now, the game ain't about talent versus talent. It's about bot farms versus broke-ass dreams, yo. And the truth is, half these platforms don't care. Because traffic is traffic when you're trying to sell an ad space, yo. Now look, it used to be something sacred about 1 million streams. Right now, that shit like a Shopify product. Spend $100, you get 50K. Spend $250, you get an organic algorithm. Man, niggas been gaming these platforms for a while now, yo. And the craziest part, some of these labels know, some of them participate. Some of them expect it. Because perception is profit, yo. But here go the question. When all that smoke clear and the playlist placement stop, who will listening to your shit? Who really cares, man? You can't fake longevity. You can't really bot your way into people's hearts and shit. You can buy numbers, but you can't buy impact, my guy, my girl. It ain't about art. It ain't about the love of this shit. It's about the profit. And it's kind of watering the game down, for real. Picking how you react in real time, it ain't just maturity. That's not just awareness. Shit, it feel like a superpower if I'm being honest. See, most people out here, they reactors. They flinch when lights swing. They lash out. They shut down. Niggas be folding under pressure. You wanna know why? Because most of the time, their emotions in the driver's seat instead of the other way around. And you got very few people out here, the ones that sit with their pain. They don't let their ego get in the way. And they study their own triggers so they don't react. They respond. And shit, that's a whole different muscle. Now, when you can stay centered in chaos, when you can choose calm instead of conflict, silence instead of slander, action instead of anger, shit, that's half the battle won. Because power, it ain't in volume, this shit is in control. Look, I used to let people pull me off center, little slick comments, disrespectful tones, and then boom, I'm in some shit I shouldn't even be in. But right now, I'm learning to choose. So I choose when to check shit. I choose when to move. I choose when to say nothing. That shit chess work. That's God business. So yeah, picking how you want to react in real time, that's a superpower. And like any power is built in silence. You gotta sharpen your sword. You gotta prove yourself in those moments. Let's get to these closing statements. So this is what I believe, yo. We got developmental periods. We got seasons you're meant to go through. And if you skip one or try to fast forward through it, it don't just disappear. It usually shows back up later in life, and harder too. Now that's when you see men with talent but no patience, vision but no character, a bunch of grown-ass bodies with missing pages in the book. Now that's why God didn't want Adam and Eve to touch the tree of life. Not because they weren't worthy, but because they weren't ready for it. Some of this knowledge, it just may be too heavy for your understanding. Some of this wisdom is going to drown you if you don't know how to swim with sharks. Now look, every skip step, it come back with interest. That's why struggling, it's not necessarily punishment. It's really protection. It's preparation. Check it out. If you in the dark, don't even rush it. Don't beg for escape. You got to grow there. You got to break there. You got to heal right there. Now, when God finally says, now, you'll be ready to carry that torch you tried to steal. That's the Big Pod Swain Session Podcast, and I'll see y'all next week, y'all.